Stop everything. Take a breath. Because what is happening right now in the California desert is not normal. It's not routine. It's not just another WTA 1000 event. The atmosphere at the BNP Paribas Open has been completely hijacked, and the epicenter of the chaos is one 20-year-old Filipina who hasn't even hit a competitive ball yet. This is not polite tennis applause. This is not country club silence with soft clinks of champagne glasses. This is an earth-shaking, server-crashing, resale market exploding ticket frenzy that has tournament organizers scrambling behind the scenes. Secondary ticket platforms are surging. Session passes linked to her projected matches are evaporating within minutes. And the Coachella Valley is bracing for something it hasn't experienced in years. The Eala Effect has officially landed. When Eala touched down in Southern California, she didn't arrive quietly. She arrived with the full weight of a global movement behind her. From Manila to Los Angeles, from Dubai to Melbourne, the Filipino diaspora has mobilized with a level of unity and passion rarely seen in modern tennis. Indian Wells, often called the fifth Grand Slam, has transformed into something closer to a cultural phenomenon. To understand why the box office is detonating right now, you have to listen to what insiders are saying, not casual fans, but former elite players who've lived inside the biggest arenas in the sport on the wildly popular Nothing Major podcast. Former ADP standouts Sam Querrey, John Isner, and Steve Johnson dedicated a major segment to one question: is Eala the biggest draw-in women's tennis right now on a global scale? Think about that for a second. These are players who faced Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal, and Novak Djokovic on the sport's biggest stages. They've seen packed stadiums. They've heard deafening crowds. They know what real star power looks like. And yet, they admitted they were stunned. They described the crowds in Australia as standing room only. They talked about Dubai turning into a sea of Filipino flags. They used words like insane, massive, and different. Not hype, not marketing fluff. Different. When former top American men's athletes who traditionally focus on the ADP Tour are openly discussing the gravitational pull of a 20-year-old WTA star, that's not coincidence. That's a shift in the sports ecosystem. And now that ecosystem is colliding with Southern California, home to one of the largest and most passionate Filipino-American populations anywhere in the world. If the energy was explosive in Dubai, Indian Wells may need to reinforce the bleachers. But here's what makes this story even more dangerous for the rest of the field. This is not just about heritage. It's not just about representation. It's not just about cultural pride, that it's about dominance. Eala is not arriving at Indian Wells as a feel-good wildcard story. She is not here for experience. She is not here to gain exposure. She is arriving as a legitimate threat, fresh off a career-altering run at the Dubai Tennis Championships, where she stormed into the quarterfinals and dismantled world-class opposition along the way. One of those names. Jasmine Paolini, a top 10 force who found herself overpowered and outmaneuvered in a match that shifted global perception overnight. That run catapulted Eala to a career-high ranking of world number 31. And that number is not cosmetic. It changes everything. At Indian Wells, it means she earns a first-round bye. She skips the early chaos. She rests. She studies the draw. She prepares. She enters directly into the round of 64 as a seeded player at a WTA 1000 event for the first time in her professional career. The computer rankings have officially validated what her supporters already knew. She belongs in the elite tier. And here's the part that should genuinely terrify the player who draws her in that second round. They are not just facing a talented left-hander with a heavy forehand and fearless court positioning. They are stepping into an arena that will feel like Manila West. They are walking into a stadium that could tilt emotionally, energetically, psychologically toward one player from the first warm-up rally. Because momentum in tennis is not just tactical. It's emotional. It's atmospheric. It's human. And right now, Eala carries momentum that feels unstoppable. The corporate world has already taken notice. Before she even began practice sessions in the desert heat, Eala made a high-profile stop at Nike World Headquarters in Beaverton, Oregon. This wasn't a routine sponsor appearance. This was a statement. Massive visual installations celebrating her biggest career moments. Cultural nods to the Sampaguita, the national flower of the Philippines. A red carpet-level reception reserved for athletes considered long-term global pillars of the brand. Nike doesn't make emotional decisions. Nike makes calculated ones. They track engagement metrics. They analyze market growth curves. They understand the economic power of Southeast Asia. And they see something in Eala that extends beyond forehands and rankings. They see bridge potential between East and West, between legacy markets and emerging ones, between tennis tradition and a younger, digital-first global fan base. When a brand of that magnitude signals belief at that volume, the rest of the sport listens. Which brings us back to Indian Wells. Tournament schedulers are facing a fascinating problem. Traditionally, newly seeded players in early rounds can land on outer courts Court 4, Court 6, more intimate settings. That is not an option here. Putting Eala on a small outside court could create logistical chaos. The demand to see her live may simply overwhelm the physical capacity of those spaces. Stadium 1 or Stadium 2 becomes less about prestige and more about necessity. She is forcing elevation, not through reputation alone, but through measurable draw power. And here's the final layer that makes this moment so compelling. She's 20. There is no sign of plateau, no ceiling in sight. Her development under the system at the Rafa Nadal Academy has sharpened her tactical awareness. Her left-handed patterns disrupt rhythm. Her competitive composure has matured rapidly under high-pressure spotlight matches. The leap from promising prospect to legitimate contender can take years. For Eala, it happened in weeks. Now imagine being the player who sees her name pop up next to yours in the draw. You're not just preparing for a tennis match, that you're preparing for a packed stadium leaning emotionally in one direction, a global audience tuned in across time zones, a player brimming with confidence after a career-best Runa brand. Machine amplifying her presence, a cultural movement fueling every point. That is a psychological furnace. And Indian Wells is about to test whether the rest of the tour is ready for it. Because if she wins early, the grounds will get louder, the tickets will get scarcer, the cameras will multiply, the narrative will expand, and what began as excitement will evolve into belief. The desert has seen legends crowned. It has witnessed dominance from the greatest players in history. But this feels different. This feels like the birth of something that transcends rankings and scorelines. The Coachella Valley is not under siege from chaos, it is under siege from possibility. And whether you are a fan, a rival, a sponsor, or a tournament official, one thing is becoming undeniably clear. Eala is no longer arriving at events. Events are adjusting to her. Imagine this. You are a professional tennis player on the WTA Tour. You have trained since childhood. You sacrificed birthdays, school dances, normalcy. You've hit millions of forehands in empty academies. You've dragged suitcases through airports at 4 a.m. You've built your entire identity around surviving moments on the biggest stages. Now picture walking through the tunnel at the BNP Paribas Open. The desert sun is blinding. The hard court glows beneath you. You take your first steps into Stadium 1. And then it hits you. 15,000 people are not just cheering. They are unified, coordinated, deafening, and they are not cheering for you. Every missed first serve you hit explodes into celebration. Every double fault is greeted like championship point. Every time Eala rips a clean backhand down the line, the sound physically shakes the arena bowl. It is not applause. It is impact. This is not ordinary crowd support. This is emotional warfare. That we already saw a glimpse of this dynamic in Dubai. Coco Gauff, reigning U.S. Open champion, hardened competitor, one of the mentally toughest athletes in the sport, admitted in her press conference that she had to trick herself into believing the crowd was chanting her name just to endure the noise. Let that sink in. Now multiply that Dubai energy by 10. Add California sunshine. Add one of the largest Filipino-American communities in the world. Add the massive, echoing architecture of the Indian Wells Tennis Garden. What you get is not just a loud stadium, you get a wall of sound that feels alive. And here's the dangerous part. Eala feeds on it. Some players shrink under expectation. Some players tighten up when their country's hopes are placed squarely on their shoulders. Eala does the opposite. She absorbs the emotion. She channels the pride, the sacrifice, the global support of over 100 million people, and she turns it into baseline violence. Her forehand doesn't just spin, it detonates. And tactically, the desert conditions make this even more terrifying for the rest of the draw. Indian Wells is technically a hard-court event, but it plays unlike almost anything else on tour. The gritty surface grips the ball. The dry desert air allows heavy topspin to jump viciously. The bounce is high, the rallies stretch. Flat hitters who thrive on skidding. Low trajectories suddenly find their drive sitting up, hanging, begging to be attacked. Who thrives in heavy topspin geometry. A left-handed prodigy sharpened at the Rafa Nadal Academy, Eala's looping cross-court forehand is built for this laboratory. She can dictate patterns from the baseline, open up impossible angles, and push opponents meters behind the baseline. Once she establishes depth, the court shrinks for her rival and expands for her. Heavy flat strikers will discover something uncomfortable. Their pace becomes her fuel. Balls that would normally skid through quicker courts will instead rise directly into her strike zone. That is a tactical nightmare. But this moment is about more than spin rates and rally tolerance, that it's about freedom. Eala enters Indian Wells with 0 ranking points to defend. This is her debut in the desert. There is no scoreboard pressure hanging over her head from last season. Every victory is pure gain. Every round is profit. Later in the month at the Miami Open, she will carry the burden of defending 390 ranking points from her sensational semifinal run last year. That will be pressure. This is house money. A fearless player with nothing to lose is already dangerous. A fearless player backed by a roaring stadium and perfectly suited conditions is something else entirely. She can swing freely, attack second serves, rip down the line winners without hesitation, step inside the baseline on returns. There is no suffocating fear of ranking drop. There is only opportunity if she strings together statement wins here. A top 20 breakthrough before the end of March is not fantasy, it's math. Yet even that undersells what is unfolding. That what's happening in the desert is bigger than ranking points, bigger than prize checks, bigger than even Grand Slam projections. This is a cultural surge disguised as a tennis tournament. For decades, tennis has searched for new audiences. It has tried to shed its country club image. It has tried to bring younger, more diverse fans into its ecosystem. Eala is doing it organically. Grandmothers and Filipino flags. Teenagers attending their first live tennis match. Overseas workers coordinating travel plans months in advance. Casual sports fans suddenly learning about topspin RPM and breakpoint conversion rates. When Eala laces up her Nike shoes and grips her racket, she is not simply representing a ranking next to her name. She is representing visibility. She is representing belief. She is representing possibility. And people want to witness possibility in real time. That's why the ticket frenzy isn't just about watching rallies. It's about being able to say, years from now, I was there. I was there before the Grand Slam trophies. I was there before the multiple finals at Wimbledon. I was there before the clay court coronations at French Open. I saw the desert ignite first. Meanwhile, the established order of the WTA is watching closely. Defending champion Iga Swiatek, world number 1 Aryna Sabalenka. The entire top 10 hierarchy. They understand momentum when they see it. They understand when the energy of a tour begins to shift. Because this isn't just about one tournament draw. It's about gravitational pull. It's about media oxygen. It's about the realization that the next era may not be years away. It may already be walking on a stadium. Eala has the first round bye. Her legs are fresh. Her coaching team has dissected the draw. The desert courts suit her spin-heavy patterns. The crowd is mobilized, and somewhere, her future second-round opponent is staring at the schedule, knowing they are about to walk into something louder than anything they've experienced all season. How do you steady your breathing when 15,000 fans explode at your error? How do you focus on your toss when chants ripple through concrete? How do you maintain tactical discipline when momentum feels like a tidal wave? These are not theoretical questions. They are imminent realities. Oh, now it shifts too. If you're in California, did you manage to secure a ticket to this chaos? Or did the secondary market shut you out? How far can she go with these conditions and this support? Do the slow, high-bouncing Indian Wells courts amplify her topspin advantage against flatter hitters? And how will her first opponent survive the emotional furnace of that crowd? Drop your boldest predictions. Exact scorelines. Upset alerts. Championship visions. Because whether she lifts the trophy this year or not, one thing feels undeniable. The Eala era is no longer a distant projection. It is unfolding in real time. Under the desert sun, the 5th Grand Slam atmosphere is here. The draw is locked, the stage is set, and the desert is ready to roar.